at the boys' standings. Toledo St. Francis leading St. Xavier by 4 points. Moeller in third, Solon in fourth. Those team standings will change with the 500, which is what we are in. St. Xavier will pick up some points and move into first place, but we were headed for quite a finish. Let's take a look at the lane assignments for the boys' 500-yard freestyle. Newcomb from Upper Arlington in lane 1. Cook from Hilliard Darby in lane 2. Kevin George from Moeller in lane 3. McDonald from Lakota East, the fastest qualifying time. Carroll from Anderson in lane 5. Hamilton from Turpin in lane 6. Slade from St. Xavier in lane 7. Critical to the team race on the boys' side. And Mark Andrew from Middletown is in lane 8.
Let's not forget Mr. McDonald's a freshman. Another freshman here in lane 4, fastest qualifier at 4:30.
Freshmen have been outstanding in this meet, and no thought that that would not continue with this. And they are in the water, the 500-yard freestyle for the boys. 20 laps, an endurance race to be sure.
It could be interesting to see how many people our gentleman in lane 7, Mr. Slavi, can beat for points for St. X here.
And actually lane 6 out to the lead early on, and that's Drew Hamilton from Cincinnati Turpin.
There'll be a number of lead changes. There are some that are hanging back, there's others that want to get out. Certainly person in lane 8, if they can get out, nobody tends to look over that way, so they get kind of a free pass. And we're seeing here in lane 8 right now, turning first here at 50.4. That, of course, is Mark Andrew from Middletown.
And we mentioned McDonald, the fastest qualifying time. He was the fastest by almost 3 full seconds.
Right.
He went 4:30. And again, you had touched on this in the girls' 500. There's a lot of different strategies, and McDonald's one that swims at the back half of it.
Right, but he's got to be careful not to get too far away from contact with his competition, or he's not going to have enough in the tank.
And he's staying pretty close. As we say that, he inches up. With each turn, it looks like he's gaining a little bit more.
Kevin George is doing quite well at this particular point in the 500. Now the question is going to be, of course, with all this energy that he's putting out during the early part of this race, will we have enough left over at the end? Lane 8, Mr. Andrews is still hanging in there, Mark Andrews.
Yeah, now it's lane 3, and as you touched on, Kevin George, the junior from Moeller. And as we say that, Joshua McDonald, our freshman from Lakota East, closes it back up a little bit.
Well, Josh isn't in too bad shape. He's still 1 second ahead from yesterday. So I'm going to well expect that at this point on here, at this point in the race, Josh is going to turn up the heat a little bit and get moving.
Keep an eye on Mark Andrew from Middletown in lane 8, also up there with the leaders.
Swimming very strong right now. But Josh, of course, now is making his move. Now for our viewing audience, it's critical to watch these swimmers as they're coming out of the turn. Some are starting their strokes maybe a little too early, others are staying underwater a little longer.
And right now, Kevin George and Joshua McDonald battling each other.
If you watch him coming off this wall, Kevin George is a little more efficient than Josh. But Josh is making his move at this particular point in time.
There's a look at coming off the wall. Kevin George still hanging on to the lead in lane 3, but now McDonald pushing him a little bit more in lane 4.
But again, if you notice, Kevin's just hanging right in there as far as his turn work and saving him a lot of stroke. Josh is working a little bit too hard for this race. Carroll is making a big move there. He was pretty much out of the race at the beginning, but he's coming on quite strong.
And now McDonald a little bit ahead of Kevin George.
Yep. He's doing quite a good job. Now Hassler Carroll's coming up here too. Get the bell lap.
In lane 5.
2 laps to go.
McDonald needs a strong turn.
Right. He's going to have to have a very good turn coming off this wall, or else these 2 guys are going to catch him. And Hassler Carroll's putting on just an unbelievable second half of the race.
Oh, and in lane 5, Hassler Carroll, a better turn from Anderson. And that might have done it for him. Hassler Carroll in lane 5 touches and takes the state championship 4:30.23. McDonald 4:30.46. And Kevin George 4:32.26. But a great job of closing for Hassler Carroll, and the Anderson fans have something to yell about. He's just a sophomore.
Right. That's a tale of 2 races there, because Hassler stayed back, and all of a sudden he made this huge surge forward, got his momentum up, and was able to carry it through the rest of the race.
He did a heck of a job closing, because he was well off the pace, and those last 3-4 laps, it was like closer, and then he just shot by him. Hassler Carroll, a sophomore from Cincinnati Anderson, our state champ for 2014 boys, Division I 500 freestyle. Congratulations, heck of a job. Your strategy in the 500, how do you go out and approach this race?
Well, in the morning I knew I took it out way too fast. And I completely my body was all over the place, jumping first, to fifth, to third. Really wasn't a good swim, so sat down with my coach at dinner, and we talked about how if I'm at my competition speed at the 200, I can take it home, and that's what I did.
Well, Hassler, I was very, very impressed with the second half of your race, and more impressively, of course, the fact that it seemed that at every turn you were getting more and more distance and keeping your speed up compared to the rest of the competition.
Yeah. Excuse me, I couldn't hear you.
You came off that wall for the last 50 and really like you were shot out of something. Is that by design?
I just wanted it so bad. That's really all that is. And it was a great race. I'm so happy.
A great race, and you had a great finish. Hassler Carroll in lane 5 would not be denied. There you see him coming off the wall, and top to middle part of the screen, he takes off. Hassler, congratulations.
Thank you.
Heck of a job. Time for you to go get that state medal that you just earned.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great job, Hassler Carroll. That's the way you finish a 500.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the fact that he did not get upset about his prelim swimming and sat down with his coach and carried out a plan, a lot of confidence there between his coach and himself.
And he earns that state championship medal. Just a sophomore. Time for us to step away, take a quick break. We still have plenty more. Boys and girls, Division I state swimming championships for 2014.
Are you facing